Hello and welcome back to the Champions League Challenge on Football Manager 2022, where we are in charge of Steaua Bucharest in the Romanian top tier. Now, obviously, last episode we went through the transfers in pre-season and we played our opening game of the season against Voluntari. So if you've not seen that yet, go ahead and watch it. It should be up here somewhere for you to click. And then once you've seen that, come back and we are going to play another two games today. We've got a game against FCSB in the league and a cup game against Chindia Targovishte. We've also got a few more bits of transfer news to give you, but before anything else, we've got to show you the games that we've played since the last episode. We're halfway through the opening stage of the season now, so there's been about 14 games I think played, including the cup game. So take a look at that now and we'll be back for the transfer news. Steaua's first home game of the season was against Botasani, and things got off to the best possible start when Jeremy Van Mullen headed in from an Ibrahim Traore cross on the 18th minute. Steaua held on to this one-goal lead until the 79th minute when Finn Porath headed in an Anthony Ivanov free kick to equalise for Botasani. It looked like it was going to end 1-1 until Milos Kukolj played Federico Marchesi through to score an audacious lob to seal a 2-1 win on the 88th minute. Steaua were on the back foot early on in their game at Miavini when Federico Marchesi was sent off for a second bookable offence after fouling Alexandru Ionita just 12 minutes into the game. Miavini thought they had taken the lead on the 28th minute when an Ionita free kick was flicked by the head of Florin Dimitriou to Musa Sano at the far post, but it was disallowed for offside, with replays showing this was the correct decision. Steaua struggled being a man down and didn't have their first shot until the 85th minute. This one finished 0-0. Steaua made the home fans wait until first half stoppage time to see a goal in their game against Gazmetan Medias as Mitrovic picked up the ball on the left, cut into the box, had a bit of luck thanks to a fortunate deflection off the defender and squared the ball to Van Mullen, who applied the finish and in turn scored the only goal in a 1-0 win. Bottom of the table, UTA Arid were the next visitors to Steaua and found themselves a goal up after 10 minutes thanks to a Constantin Dima header from a Cyprian Soditu free kick. UTA Arid grabbed a second goal just after half time after Van Mullen missed an easy defensive header from a Marius Barica through ball, which left Alexi Pitiu with a tap in. The game ended 2-0 and lifted UTA Arid off the foot of the table. Steaua kicked the goal scoring off in this one with a beautifully worked passing move which ended with a powerful finish from Milos Kukolj. Early in the second half it was CFR Cluj's turn to score from a great passing move, finished off well by Rialdo Fili. Any hopes of a Cluj turnaround were quickly stunted when Mihai Balasha picked up a second yellow for a trip on Milos Kukolj on the 74th minute. A Stefan Dragici set-piece was the catalyst for what turned out to be the winning goal for Steaua as Van Mullen met Dragici's cross at the back post, headed the ball back across goal for Torrente to volley, this was deflected and the rebound was headed in by Claudio Donos, who had just come off the bench as Steaua changed to an attacking wing play tactic. This one ended CFR Cluj 1, Steaua 2. Struggling Academica Clincini were the next opponent for Steaua, but this game never really got going, with Oliver Casey's second half header hitting the bar the only highlight in this 0-0 draw. Following an international break where Steaua played out a 0-0 draw in a friendly with FC Arges, it was time for the first Bucharest derby of the season as Rapid were the visitors. Andrei Berlaciu came closest to opening the scoring in the first half when his free kick cannoned off the bar. Federico Marchesi didn't make things easy for his teammates late in the second half when he got a second yellow for the second time in 7 games for a foul on Yusuf Diarra. Steaua did have a few decent opportunities in the last few minutes of the game as David Min found himself one-on-one with the keeper but couldn't beat him, and Stefan Dragici found himself in arguably an even better position but failed to beat the keeper, meaning this one ended in a 0-0 draw. It was back-to-back home Bucharest derbies for Steaua as Dynamo were next to visit, and it didn't take long for the away side to take the lead as Richard Silla headed in a Cimpanu free kick early in the first half. It wasn't until the 70th minute when Steaua fired back when David Min smashed home a volley from a Soren Serban cross for the equaliser, giving this one a final score of Steaua 1, Dynamo 1. It was Romanian Cup 5th round action up next for Steaua as they faced a tough challenge in the form of Sepsi OSK. It started well for Steaua when Jeremy Van Mullen played an exquisite lob through ball to Milos Kukolj on the 11th minute, with Kukolj smashing it past the keeper to score what proved to be the only goal of the game. Oliver Casey did hit the post with a header late on, but the game ended Steaua 1, Sepsi OSK 0. Zepedro made sure Steaua were on the back foot from the off against FC Arges as he fouled Gabriel Simeon in the box after 3 minutes, conceding a penalty which Issa Fomba duly dispatched. Julian Badea made things even worse as he was sent off halfway through the first half for a horrific lunge on Issa Fomba. Having one less man didn't seem to affect Steaua too much as Kukolj equalised from a Tafari Moore cross on the stroke of half-time. Ibrahim Traore made things even better for the boys in red and blue as he headed in from a Kukolj corner to give Steaua an unexpected lead on the 65th minute. That lead didn't last long though as Ivan scored a free kick from the edge of the box on the 73rd minute to equalise. Steaua failed to hold on for the draw as Ionut Vina headed in at the back post from a Mikovshi corner and Steaua succumbed to a 3-2 loss. Second in the table, Farrell Constanza were the next visitors to Steaua, but they must have forgotten to bring any entertainment with them as the only chance of the game came in the 4th minute of second half injury time as Zepedro crossed for David Min to head wide in a boring 0-0 draw. A trip to struggling Concordia Chiajna was next up for Steaua, but it was the home side who took the lead on the 34th minute when Adrian Serbu smashed one in from the edge of the box. Vladimir Skretchu doubled the lead with another long-range effort 5 minutes before half-time. Steaua did get back into it with just over 10 minutes to go as Milos Kukolj tapped in from a Soren Serban cross at the second time of asking. But Chiajna regained their 2-goal advantage less than 5 minutes later as Jeffroy Bonney volleyed in from close range after an Andrei Dragu cross, meaning the full-time score was Concordia Chiajna 3, Steaua 1. Despite both sides having chances, it wasn't until the 88th minute when UTA Arid finally took the lead as Vali Kudrea headed in from a Murcia Petrina corner to succumb Steaua to a 1-0 defeat. So after all those games, we find ourselves in a very respectable 10th place. 3 wins, 6 draws, 4 defeats in the opening 13 games of the season. Leaves us with 15 points. We were expected to finish 13th at the season preview at the start of the season. We're 3 points better off than that currently. We do need to try and improve a little bit though, because there's been a lot of draws in there. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So now on to the transfer news, and we'll start with a few more loans that we've made. So we received an offer of a loan offer, of course, from FC Puciosa, who are newly promoted to the second tier in Romania, to loan Mark Barahan, who of course was our third choice striker that we just signed in this transfer window. And I was a bit unsure as to whether to send him on loan or not. He was going to be our third choice backup, of course. If David Min and Kukolj got injured, then he would be the man that we would rely on. But in the games that he played for us, I think he played at least once for us and didn't really do very well. Or did he? Yeah, he played once for us. Okay, I don't know why it doesn't show down there because the competition's not there. That was very confusing. Played once, 6.3 rating. Of course, you can't really tell much from one performance, but I just thought he's only 22. He's got room to grow. Puciosa are in the level where he's apparently a decent player at, so why not send him there, see if he can do anything good for them. He's managed to score 3 goals already, 1 assist. Average rating's not too great, but he's getting goals and hopefully, he definitely is getting more playing time as well, so hopefully that's going to help him. We also loaned out Kaselin Kokos to third tier Vitorul Janka just again to get him some playing time. He wasn't going to really play much for us this season, so you can see he's got made 8 appearances so far, 1 goal, 6.93 average rating. And then the final player that we managed to loan out was youngster Felix Lenhart, the man that I signed in the last episode, the centre-back, brought in basically to send out on loan and develop well. FC Brasov, I believe, are in the second tier of Romania as well. Indeed they are. And he's managed to get some appearances. He's meant to just be getting fringe playing time, but he's actually made 9 appearances for them so far, 6.81 average rating, so he is hopefully going to be developing well over the course of the season. You can see he's got some yellow increases in his attributes, and yeah, he's doing well so far. Now let's take a look at some incomings that we've had. So of course the first one is Felix Lenhart, which I believe I said we signed in the last episode. We didn't actually. We signed him a little bit after the last episode, but he was brought in, the 18-year-old. He's a very, very promising young prospect, sent out on loan, as I said, to FC Brasov, and hopefully he's going to develop well and have a decent career with us. He's already a 1.5-star player if you can just bump that a little bit more, you might even be in the starting lineup or in the squad as a squad player for next season. Gabriel Plumbuitu, I believe I showed you him last episode as well. He's been brought in, and not good to see his determination going down, but I guess other attributes are going up. He's emergency backup at left wing. He's played a few times already for us this season. Not really performed that well. Made 4 starts in the league, 1 in the cup. Played a lot better in the cup than he did in the league, but he's a young player as well, so hopefully he can just develop a bit more with us. And then the other signing that we made was the man that I was unsure about getting because he seemed like he could be a bit of a, well, you can see from his personality, a bit of a mercenary, but he's been brought in, Gianni Nzete. He unfortunately picked up an injury during one of the games off camera, so he hasn't played as many times as he probably would have. So he's only played 4 times so far for us in the league. He's played decent, 6.74 average rating, and he definitely looks like a good player. He's improving in a lot of his technical attributes. His balance has gone up as well, and I think the sky's the limit for him. I don't think we're going to be able to hold on to him for more than 2 or 3 seasons before a bigger club comes in with an offer for him, or he just doesn't want to sign a new contract because he wants to move elsewhere. So in today's episode, we were meant to be playing 2 league games, one against FCSB, who currently top the table, and one against Politehnica Timisoara, who are 14th in the table. However, due to our progress in the Romanian Cup and beating Sepsi in the 5th round, we have a cup game in between those. So we're going to probably do just the FCSB and the cup game, but we'll see how many highlights we get in each of those. So this is the tactic and lineup that we're going to go with for this first game away from home against top of the table FCSB. We've slightly tweaked the tactic. We've gone from playing a fluid counter-attack to now a more direct counter-attack. The fluid counter-attack wasn't really getting us that many goals, so I just figured we'd have to change it up, see what we can do. We've changed formation as well. We've gone to a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder and 2 wingers. We played this formation for the first time in the game against UTA Arid and obviously lost 1-0, but I'm hoping that was just because it was the first time we played the formation. They've been training on it, so hopefully we're going to do okay. But to be fair, okay against FCSB could very well be a 2-goal defeat. They are 5 points clear at the top of the table currently and look like there's nothing that's going to stop them. But the lineup that we've got for today, Tom Aniga, our number 1 goalkeeper, always in goal unless he's injured or suspended. At right back, we've got Tafari Moore, Zepedro and Cosmin Achim are our central defenders today. We did have a game midweek. That was the UTR game. That was midweek, so just a few days ago in game. So there's quite a few players that would regularly be starting that are either on the bench or not in the squad today because they're too tired. We've also got an injury to David Min, so he's not on the bench either. So the bench looks a bit threadbare. But we'll get to that. Soren Serban is at left back. Raul Torrente plays as the anchor in defensive midfield. Yuni Badea and Gianni Nzete are new signing in central midfield. Claudio Nanos is our right winger, despite some terrible form in the games off camera, mainly because he's an under-22 player. We need one of those in the squad, and he's our best one. Then we've got Jovan Mitrovic on the left wing with Milos Kukolj up top. Now, I mentioned the subs bench. So on that subs bench, we've obviously got our backup goalie. We've got Stefan Dragici, who's getting on a bit, and I'm trying to sell because all of his attributes are going down. He's declining as a footballer. He's still worth like £300,000. So I think his contract expires at the end of next season. So we're just drastically hoping to get some money for him. He has been a good servant to the club, but I think it's time to go. Jeremy Van Mullen, you can see he's looking a bit worse for wear in terms of his conditioning. He's on the bench as well. Adnan Islamovic, backup left back. Plumbuitu, youngster who we just signed as backup left wing. Dennis Radu, another signing from the summer. And then Paulian Pigulea is our substitute striker due to the lack of a David Min or a Mark Barrington, who of course is on loan. This is Paulian Pigulea. He's a 16-year-old Romanian from our youth team. He's got 14 finishing. That's all you need to know. The 14 finishing is the only reason that he's on the bench over some of the other striking options in the youth team. But I am hoping that I don't have to use him because it's just scary putting a 16-year-old out there, especially against a team of the quality of FCSB. And if you're interested, the injury that David Min has suffered is broken ribs. So he's out for a further 4 to 7 weeks. He's currently seeking treatment from a specialist. He'd only played 1 time starting for us this season, 6 times off the bench. He managed to get a goal. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing not to have him as an option on the bench because he does offer us something different when Kukolj is struggling to break through. So FCSB, of course, the home side today, 4 victories out of the last 5 games, 1 draw as well. They will be playing in red. We'll be playing in our away yellow kit. We've got terrible form, only 1 win in our last 5, a draw, and then 3 defeats. So we're hoping for a miracle to get anything against FCSB, the runaway leaders in Casa Liga 1 at the minute. So Serban's given a free kick away very early on. Florent Tanas with a chance from the free kick, hits the post, and then Serban, it's a bit of a dodgy idea, but he got away with it, deciding to pass that back short to Tomaniga, who just cleared it. And FCSB are piling the pressure on early doors here. Alaru into Dragomir, now Tanas, intercepted header by Akim, and Denos has the ball now, but we can't really counter-attack because they've got so many men back behind the ball. It's Farimur inside to Bede, and we need to just keep the ball for a little bit. Not like that. That's not how you keep the ball, Torrente. Steaua running down the right-hand side. Inside to Alaru. Steaua again. Man on the right in tons of space. Guimera with it, plenty of time to get a ball in, which he does. Coman's there with a header. It's off the post again. They've hit both posts in the opening 7.5 minutes. We are up against it here. They've had 7 shots in the opening 20 minutes. We've had none. My brain doesn't work well with being defensive. I hate it, but we have to try and get results, and we have to try and eke out 1-0 wins or 0-0 draws to try and get anything, because we're just not good enough at the moment. Alaru through to Steaua, pulled wide. Pressure is fully on us. I'm really fighting the urge to just change to a more attacking formation or attacking tactic, but it's just not worth it because we'll get smashed, and I obviously don't want that. But half-time comes, 13 shots for them, 0 for us. It's not great, but we're 0-0. Little positives.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So our 3 attackers are our 3 worst performing players today, but I'm pretty sure that's just because they're not getting any service from the players behind them, because we're not really creating anything. They're all on a yellow card as well, which is annoying. I don't think we can go another 45 minutes of just surviving. I really don't. I think we need to do something. We need to change something. Do we have another man in the centre of midfield? Torrente's anchorman, so he's sort of going to be playing in this area here. Badea is going to be playing a bit deeper as well with the ball winning midfielder. Zete is slightly higher up. If we put Denos into attacking centre midfield and we stick him as a shadow striker, Kukol is going to go as a false 9, which is one of his preferred roles. Mitrovic is going to come off. He's going to be our sacrificial lamb as we change formation, and we're going to put whoever comes in there as advanced playmaker on support, and the man that's going to come in there in that row is going to be Gabriel Plumbuitu? It's either him or Van Mullen, and Van Mullen is very tired. Van Mullen's very good as well, though. I don't think Van Mullen can see out the rest of this game, so it's going to have to be Plumbuitu that we bring in there. A formational change. Yeah. Let's see how this works. So it's another chance for FCSB. Ball way too hard, that one. All the way to the other side of the pitch to Guimera. Now Stoica back to Guimera. Ball into the box. Coman there. He's found some space. Tomaniga with an excellent save there. It looked like it was going to go over his head for a little bit, but he managed to catch the ball, which is his job as a goalkeeper. And then he launches one forward, but of course, we don't have anyone there. Why did I play Kukos as a false 9? I'm going to have to change that. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm playing direct counter-attack football, and I decided to take off the man who's going to be playing highest up the pitch. Well, not take him off, but change his role. That doesn't make sense. What was I thinking? Stoica back to Guimera. I might as well just wait for this highlight to end, because it's not going to make any change until it does anyway. So Dragomir out wide right to Guimera. Stoica, just patient build-up play from FCSB. Be nice if we could win the ball back. Tanas, forward to Kopueru. And this could be an opportunity. Coman, he had that headed opportunity just before. He's got past the defenders. Coman with a shot, and he's pulled it just wide. Oh, we're getting away with it still. Right, Kukol, yeah, mate, advance forward. Go for it. Why did I do that? Can he play as a target man? I'm looking for target man. It's target forward now, isn't it? You can sort of play as a target forward. Best on attack. We'll try that. Can we aim for the target man? Distribute to target man. There we go. confirm those changes. Didn't even look at how everyone else was performing. To be fair, they're not performing great. Denos is on a 6. We're going to go for a bit of a weird formation, I think, now. How many times can I change formation in a game? Denos is going to come off. Plumbuitu's on now, so he fills our under-22 required position quota. Dennis Radiu is looking motivated on the bench, the right winger. So we'll bring him on. He's the only one that looked motivated, so he's the only one that I even want to think about bringing on. So we'll see how we go, but we're not really playing with width, are we? I guess we've got standard attacking width on. We'll stick him as an inside forward as well. Why not? There's a highlight for FCSB, actually. Guimara's got the ball on the right-hand side once again. Plays it back to Stoica. Just at what point does our concentration levels just drop in defence? Because we've just been up against it for the entirety of this game. Stoica there with a header, and that's over the bar. Throw in for FCSB, 65 minutes gone. Farnberger plays it back to Guimara, the original throw-in taker. He was going to get a ball into the box here. Zepedro heads it away. Can we get on a counter-attack? Can we have our first shot of the game? It's Dennis Radiu. Plays the ball over the top to Kukolj. It's Kukolj. He's through on goal. Milos Kukolj, please. Please. Kukolj has scored. Kukolj has scored. It's against the run of play completely. That's our first shot of the game. Milos Kukolj. Dennis Radiu, the man that I just brought on as an inside forward with a very strange formation, has just played a wonderful chip through ball to Milos Kukolj, who did well to stay on side and finds himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper and finishes it beautifully. How are we winning? How? We've had one shot, they've had 20. 16 rounded up. Doesn't make sense. What is going on? Oh, please hold on to this. This would be a historic result. I don't think we will. FCSB have just been battering at the door, and then Zete's got himself sent off. Johnny and Zete, what are you doing? We don't need that. We really don't need that. Things are hard enough as it is. You've been playing for 73 minutes. You've seen how difficult it's been. What are you doing? Oh. Just for my own peace of mind. Plumbuitu is now going to be a box-to-box midfielder, taking the Nzete role from him. Oh, don't want to go defensive. I don't want to invite more pressure. They've just been piling on the pressure anyway, so inviting more pressure is not going to be a good idea. But we have the ball now. Could we possibly get another goal? I doubt it, because we're not on a counter-attack. But Radiu, again, with a lovely pass to Plumbuitu. Ball falls to Kukolj. He's looking for his second. It's Kukolj. He's through on goal pretty much. Kukolj with a shot into the post. And Guimara takes it away for FCSB. And Oprut plays it forward to Florinel Koeman. Free kick for FCSB. Less than 10 minutes to go. Dragomir with the ball in to the back post. And it's in. Ganea with the goal. It's going to go to VAR. I hope he's offside. George Ganea. It's been disallowed. He's offside. He's offside. Oh, boof. Almost the entirety of the FCSB attacking line were offside there. We've only gone and done it. How have we done this? 26 shots to 4. We've had 4 shots in the whole game, and we've won 1-0 against top of the table. We have completely FM'd FCSB today. What a result. Kukolj and Radiu working brilliantly together. And that result moves us up to 8th. We've got 18 points now. We're one of 3 teams on 18 points. I don't know how we've done it. I don't know how we've done it. But we're going to be back for the cup game against Chindia Targovishte. So it's time for 6th round Romanian Cup action. We face off against Liga 2 side Chindia Targovishte, a side who we have played in the top tier quite a few times. They are actually the favourites heading into this one. They're currently 4th in the 2nd tier. You can see they're just 3 points off the top of the table. So a difficult challenge for us, but one hopefully we can manage. There has just been a 4-day gap between this game and the game against FCSB, so bit of rotation required in the squad. And of course, Gianni Nzete is suspended for this game after picking up a red card in the last game. So as it worked so well last time out, we've changed the role of Milos Kukolj up front. He's now going to play as a target forward on attack, so we'll see if that helps. Obviously, a direct counter-attack, it's going to be lots of long balls, so if we're aiming for him, hopefully he can bring the ball down and bring in Mitrovic and Denos into play. That's the idea anyway. But looking at the starting lineup for today's game, we've got Tomaniga in goal. Ibrahim Traore comes in for Tafari Moore at right back. Oliver Casey is in for Zé Pedro in central defence, and Raul Torrente drops down from defensive midfield into central defence to replace, I think, Kozmin Akim from the last game. Adnan Islamovic is in at left back for Soren Serban, who is a bit tired from playing just 4 days ago as well. And then we've got Jeremy Van Mullen in defensive midfield. He's back to full fitness after he needed a rest in the game against FCSB. Julian Badea remains in the side, and then Federico Marchesi comes in for Gianni Nzete, who I, of course, already said has suspended for this game after that red card in the game against FCSB. We've got Danos, Mitrovic and Kukolj all remaining in the front three. Ideally, I would like to bring Denis Radu in for a start, but we need an under-22 player in the team. And I don't know, do I change things up? I think I'm actually going to change things up, you know. We're going to bring Gabriel Plumbuitu in for Mitrovic at left wing, and Denis Radu is going to be rewarded with a start at right wing after that performance last time out. Plumbuitu on the ball, bad pass from him, it gives the ball away to Chindia Targovishta, and Serjan comes away with the ball for the men in blue. Now Batanasi back to Chile. Dumbrava on the ball for the Liga 2 side. Zenita out wide left to Popaduke. So we're pressing quite well here. We need to try and win the ball back. Zenita with a long ball searching for Popaduke. It looks like Popaduke's going to get there ahead of Ibrahim Traore at right back. Ball into the box towards Dimita. Dimita with a header. And Tomaniga must have thought that one was going wide, but it looked very, very close, and he didn't look like he was going to do anything about it. Dumita intercepted by Islamovic, where he just thrashes that ball away into just wherever he can find the ball to go to. Nesiu inside to Batanasi. Now Malatashki and Chindia Targovishta are well on top in the opening minutes of this game. Malatashki again on the ball. I think I might have to think about a tactical change once more. Chile forward to Butean. Back to Chile. We're hoping to pounce on some form of defensive error, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen as Batanasi has the ball once more. Dumita to Popaduke, who's come inside from the left wing. Forward to Serjan. Malatashki with a bit of time and space. He shoots, and that's just over the bar. Why is Tomaniga not diving for anything? He's making me concerned. We're going to do a rule change. Marchesi's going to play as an advanced playmaker. I realise we've not actually got a playmaker on the field, so maybe if we can get the ball to him, he can try and create something from the centre of midfield. Free kick for Chindia. Popaduke towards the box, but Van Mullen heads it away. But it's on the edge of the box now with Denita. And Popaduke gets the ball back. Plays it once more to Denita. Netu a bit further left now. Back to Denita. And it looks like Chindia are going to have to rebuild this move from the back with Dumbrava. Long ball to Butean, who's completely unmarked in the box. It's a great save from Tomaniga. He saved that one. It was on target, that one. So the first one that he's really had to try and do something for, but Chindia Targovishta have a corner. It's Popaduke. Crossed in, headed away by Marchesi. But Popaduke looks like he's going to collect this one. I think I'm going to give it a few more minutes, maybe until 35th minute, and then I might change to a more attacking formation, tactic, I should say. Okay, so we're changing to a wing play tactic. We're going more positive. We're going to have the left back Islamovic overlapping on the left. Obviously, we've got Plumbuitu playing as an inside forward, so Islamovic can do that. Traore is not going to be doing that down the right-hand side, though. We're going to focus on distributing the ball to the flanks, and yeah, hopefully this helps get us more chances. So we get to half-time. We have actually finally had a couple of shots on goal just before the half-time whistle. I'm going to make a change. Traore is our worst performer out there. Tafari Moore isn't too tired from the last game, and he's looking motivated, so we're going to bring him on right back. Elsewhere, we've got Gabriel Plumbuitu on a 6.4. I'm sort of tempted to try I've changed formation again so many times in this game, but I'm tempted to try the one that we did last time out. Plumbuitu can play in centre midfield, so we will do that. We'll put Plumbuitu as the advanced playmaker on support. Marchesi can be the box-to-box still. And then we'll go back to the direct counter-attack. Distribute to the target man. We've increased the line of engagement in defensive line to standard rather than having a lower one. Yeah, so we'll see if this works again. We'll also put Radu as the inside forward because I think that's what he was last time out against FCSB. So changing to that 4-1-3-1-1 asymmetric tactic with a defensive midfielder and a right attacking midfielder. Hopefully we can do something here. Free kick, Kukolj to take. whips it into the box. Casey is there. Is that going to be a penalty? I think it is. It's a penalty. We've got a penalty. Drumbarva pushed Casey to the ground, so we've got a chance to take another unexpected lead in this episode. It's Milos Kukolj to take it. Kukolj steps up, and Kukolj fires it past the keeper. I thought the keeper had saved it, but somehow it went through him, and Kukolj gets his 7th goal of the season, his 2nd goal in as many games, and we have taken another unexpected lead. So we're 73 minutes into the game, and Plumbuitu is not having a good time out there. He's on a 6.3 rating. We don't have any centre midfielders on the bench. We've got Donos who can play in attacking centre midfield, but that's not really what we want to do. But we do have Van Mullum, Torrente and Casey all on the field already that can play in centre midfield. So I think Jeremy Van Mullum is going to move himself forward a little bit into centre midfield. We're going to... Do we put Van Mullum as the ball-winning midfielder? I feel like that's what we do. We move Van Mullum to the ball-winning midfield role. Badea is going to be the advanced playmaker on support. And then we'll take Plumbuitu off for Cosmin Akim. But we can't because Plumbuitu is our young player. Damn it. Oh, no. It looks like Plumbuitu is going to have to stay on then. Unless we bring Donos on. Yeah. We're going to bring Donos on at right wing for Dennis Radiu. And then Cosmin Akim is going to come on for Plumbuitu. We'll do the changes that we mentioned. So Akim into defensive midfield. Badea into the advanced playmaker. Van Mullum as ball-winning midfielder. And that's all our changes made. Just over 15 minutes to go. Hopefully we can hold on. Let's see if we can. Chance late on in injury time. Ball forward from the Chindia goalkeeper. Headed away by Torrente. Now Kukolj has it. Kukolj with an excellent through ball to Badea. Can we get a second goal? Marchese inside to Badea. Plenty of men forward. Marchese gets it back, and that's a terrible shot from Marchese. He barely even hit that with any power. Torrente heads that ball away, and Papaduke's got it down the left-hand side for Chindia, who are looking for a very, very late equaliser in second half injury time. Neshu towards Serjan. Malatashki knocks it down for Dumita. Dumita with a shot, and it's pulled wide and very high from Dumita. Surely we're just running down the clock at this point. Casey. Back to Van Mullum, now to Forimur. Inside to Van Mullum. Short passing play from us, rather than the direct play that we're expecting to see. Marchese with an excellent through ball. Kukolj, he's not going to get there before the defender, and Chindia should be able to clear that. Why is the full-time whistle not gone yet? Is that going to be another red card? Islamovic, it's a yellow, surely. Yeah, Adnan Islamovic getting a yellow card there. A clever foul. Hopefully nothing comes from the free kick. Ball launched forward. Keeper's coming out to get it, and that should be that. I think we've qualified for the next round of the Romanian Cup. All that's left is for Tomaniga to probably kick this, and then the ref will blow his whistle. No, he's blown his whistle before he even kicked it. Full-time, 1-0 win. We did manage to get a few more shots, actually, in that game. I think we might have found a new tactic. This 4-1-3-1-1 asymmetric with defensive midfielder and right winger. It's a bit of a mouthful. Need to think of a better name for it, but it seems to be doing a good job for us. Just had a quick look at the social media reaction, and Serban Ianac is not happy. That was like watching paint dry. We're so dull, he says. But doesn't matter if we're dull if we're getting the results at this point. Don't think it does. We're not playing fancy football. We're playing counter-attacking football. We're trying to sneak wins, and it's worked in these 2 games in this episode. So that means we're through to the quarter-final of the Romanian Cup, and we get 9.5k for doing that. So who could we possibly face in the quarter-final? Already qualified alongside us is FCSB, Gazmetan Madias, and Dynamo Bucharest. There's 4 more games to be played. So looking ahead to the next episode, and I'm going to say we're going to come back for the final 2 games of this opening stage of the season. However, if we get into the semi-finals of the Romanian Cup, I'll be back for that. But if we don't, we'll just be back for the final 2 games against Politehnica Timisoara and Sepsi OSK. And of course, we'll have the highlights of all the games that we play off camera to bring to you too. But that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to get all my content when it comes out, hit the notification bell to stay notified, and I'll see you next time.